Do you know Baba Yaga? She's the witch of the forest. She's well known in the Slavic countries and probably goes way back in time to the eastern part of Europe. Many people associate her with the little red cap mushrooms. And she is a goddess related to death and rebirth and forest creatures as well. If you work with the earth, if you're a garden witch or an herbal witch or a hedge witch, perhaps you'd like to find out more about Baba Yaga if you aren't that familiar with her. It seems like Baba Yaga's popularity has grown in just in the past couple of years. And it was probably helped along somewhat by the popularity of this book I want to share with you. It is a wonderful book. It's called Baba Yaga's Book of Witchcraft by Madame Pamita. I'll put a link to her website down below in the description of this video. This book is just packed with wonderful, wonderful stories, descriptions, and information about Baba Yaga and working with her. So the reason I'm talking about her today is because I see a relationship between Baba Yaga and what I do in my work that I'm doing here on my homestead. And for the longest time, I felt that I have an animal totem that it's probably not a very popular one. I feel the common little lowly earthworm is my animal totem. I see a connection between Baba Yaga and the earthworm. Now, if you look at all the information online, you don't see her connected to earthworms. Snake, yes, she can turn her broom into a snake. But earthworm, no. However, earthworms are also associated with life, death, rebirth, rejuvenation because of the way they act in the soil. Okay, they take the humus, the things that are in the soil that need to be broken down, and they convert it into food for the plants. So I see a real connection there. Also, Baba Yaga is about the forest, the woodland creatures, and even the creepy crawlies. Okay, so in the book, she has a chapter on Mother Earth, and the little girl who is the heroine, I suppose, of the story, Vasilina, she has to go down below the earth and look for Baba Yaga's children, who are all the little creepy crawlies. So to me, I see a big connection between Baba Yaga and the earthworm and other creepy crawlies that live in the garden. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how I work with the earthworms in the garden, and really wanted to mention this book to you because I love it. Baba Yaga lives in a house on chicken feet, and there's wonderful stories about her. You just have to be careful when you work with Baba Yaga, though, because she's pretty badass, but that doesn't mean you can act that way towards her, okay? You must show her respect. But pick up this book. I recommend it to everybody I know, in fact. And the artwork, of course, is gorgeous. Goes into all kinds of wonderful Slavic type crafts, spells, you name it, okay? So pick up a copy. I'm not getting paid to say this either. I really do love this book. So anyway, let's go out to the garden and I'll show you how I work with one of my favorite animal totems, the earthworm. So I've decided that I'm going to enlarge my Witchy Potager by adding some grow bags here in front of the raised planter, and also over here where this raised planter is. A potager is actually a kitchen garden, and having your veggies growing close to your house is always a good idea, because you're going to feel more like going out and harvesting and eating those crops that you're growing, and makes it just a lot more convenient to water and care for the plants as well. So I've placed some grow bags here in front of the raised bed planters. Here's some over on this side. And grow bags are actually just pots, large pots that you can plant in, and they will last for at least a couple of years. I haven't really had to throw any out. I'm going to qualify that and say that they last as long as you don't have a large active puppy. I've had them destroyed by dogs, but pretty much they are really great for growing things in. They drain through the fabric, and they seem to work really well, and they're also easy to move around compared to like some large pot. But you could, if you wanted to, you could use low pots. I recommend, if you live in an area that gets pretty hot and dry, that terracotta is not the best thing to use. I recommend using maybe plastic or one of those metal planters, although the metal will heat up. So actually this is why I really like grow bags. Now I've filled the grow bags part way with leaves from the trees here. We get a lot of fallen leaves from our sycamore tree and also these ornamental pear trees here. And just remember, whatever you take out of the soil, it's always a good practice to put it back in, either by making compost or mulch or whatever it is you have to do. I just hate it when I see that we have to put this, you know, the leaves get ahead of us. Sometimes they get put in the green barrel, which is fine, but really I should be putting them back into the soil again. So I'd say this is about halfway through, filled up if you squish it down. Okay, so got that partway filled up with leaves. So now I'm coming over here to my worm tower, and vermiculture is the best. I absolutely love it. This one got kind of warped, so I had to hold the lid on with bungee cords. But I take all the garden waste, all the kitchen waste. This one's got a lot of bugs on it right now. Put it in here, and the earthworms will compost and make worm castings of all your kitchen waste. And there are videos on YouTube for making your own worm tower. This is one that I bought, but I really am thinking, I've got so many earthworms that that I want to make another one and raise even more earthworms, because these worm castings are like magic. They're wonderful. Okay, so you can see on this layer, this thing is in levels. Okay, I got various trays here, and you can see there's lots of little wigglies in here. And this layer is pretty well composted, but I bet the next layer down is even more composted. So I'm going to be taking some earthworms and the worm castings and placing them in that planter so they can go to work on those leaves and make really, really lovely, rich soil for my veggies to grow in. Okay, so I filled my bucket up with worm castings and worms. And over here, I have placed a layer of planting mix or potting mix. I bought one bag of 32 dry quarts or 35 liters for this size of grow bag. And so I'm going to be placing part of my earthworms in the center here. Okay, so here's my bucket of earthworms castings. And I'm just going to be placing that in the center of my grow bag. And those worms are going to go to work on some of those leaves. And after I'm done putting the worms and the worm castings in there, I will top everything off with the rest of the potting soil from that bag. So I watered everything in now, and I do have drip irrigation in this planter here, and I'm going to see about adding a few more hoses down to the grow bags, and then everything will be nicely automated. Make sure that you do water everything down, and as the leaves decompose, the soil level may go down somewhat, and it's perfectly okay to add more soil if you want to. Okay, so I got these 3 here, and I got a couple more over here, and my newly expanded potager is ready for me to plant some seeds or some seedlings in there. It is almost spring here, so I'll be able to direct sow some seeds in there if I want to. So go by your growing area, find out when it's okay to plant things outdoors, but this is another great way to grow your own. Thank you, Baba Yaga, for your creepy crawly earthworms who help our garden and all the lovely plants to grow. Please bless this garden and all that grows here. And as I say it, so shall it be.